Welcome, listeners. You are listening to Rural Campus' first tele-podcast, and in this series, we will be speaking to people who have put in their life for rural marketing and communication, for social and developmental communication. And today, the first person we are talking is none other than DK Bose, who's been pioneer in this industry. So, welcome, DK, online,
Thank you, Raj.
and also many congratulations on receiving RMAI Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you again.
How was the feeling?
Feeling was great because when you are involved in executing your work, you don't think about awards. But at the end, when you receive such awards, it is really gratifying that you have lived your life fruitfully, productively, and enjoyed your life.
That's so good, sir. So today, when we discuss this, our first question which comes to our mind, about 3 decades earlier, when rural was focus for everybody or it was an unknown territory, uh, media dark areas were our concern because we had 1.5 television channel, some newspapers, and with all the media put together, we could not reach rural. In today's scenario, where you have internet reaching, you have lots of television channels, media reaching into almost every part of the country, how different the scenario is.
Obviously, the primary concern at that point of time, whether it is 3 decades back and before that, were reaching to the unreached. That concern has not been taken care of totally, but certainly has कम हो गया है, उतना important concern नहीं रहा है. But whatever the whatever technology has come in,
Yeah.
has come in primarily as a reach extension, not really so much about content that can bring behavior change, content that can change perception, content that can change attitudes, content that can change people's orientation to traditional thinking. So therefore, content, that is messaging, remains a major concern. What you reach concern has been reduced, but messaging remains a major concern. That is one important deficiency I see in terms of technology introduction.
So the major concern which we as planners think is that a majority of population, which is what by classification you will call R4 or R5, people who are BPL, the lowermost strata, which is living day by day on earning, uh, they still do not have media, and that is the largest population of rural. It may not be a matter of concern for people who manufacture stuff, but people when we are into social and developmental sector, when we want to talk about immunization, family planning, education, uh, cashless transaction in today's era, how will it be the still same that first we have
No,
to plan reach and then plan
no,
communication?
no. What you say is going to be far more important than how you say it.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, you see, in the very kind of excitement of technology bridging the reach, we have forgotten that there is something else that must work with technology, which is the human to human communication. Technology can only take us that much, but beyond that, everything has to be, especially in the rural, especially in the below the poverty line, especially in the marginalized and the deprived societies that we have, it has to be human to human. So therefore, that is why I'm saying the messaging is going to be far more important. What you say is going to be far more important than actually how you say it. How you say it is a kind of a lifeless, impersonal way of looking at communication, because media will only grow, media will only be soulless, lifeless, unless messaging, the content, becomes an input into that medium. You remember in the good old days when you used to work, and I had asked you to put down,
list of probable
beyond
media.
the mainstream media, what are the other media that we should be looking at when you go into rural? And you had listed out something like about 100 odd such media that exist. And each media needs different kind of messaging. There are three types of messaging. One is awareness creation messaging. Second is attitudinal change messaging. Third is behavioral change messaging. This needs different kind of media to work with. And interpersonal, that is human to human, person to person, is going to be still the major way that we can do. Only then so therefore my way of thinking as of now, as it has changed over the last 3 decades and more, is working with the community. Within the community, by the community, for the community, messaging to work.
But in India, which is such a vast country, then in that case there cannot be a pan-India program.
There cannot be a pan-India program under any circumstances.
So how do we go?
You have to go local. You have to accept this philosophy that person to person is the best way. So therefore, creating or using existing media with the local language. I will give you a small example,
Sure.
and you will see how this idea has emerged in my mind. We were creating immunization campaign in Hindi, and we had created a film which was going to be shown in Sikar district, where Shekhawati is the language. So when we took that Hindi film in a van and showed that film to the population in the villages, they understood that we are talking about immunization. But the second part of the messaging, which was about the schedule of immunization, they had no understanding of that. When we asked why, because this is also in Hindi, your language, he said, no, our language is not Hindi. Our language is Shekhawati. So we had to bring back that film, rework on that film with Shekhawati language, and then take it back to be screened to them, to be shown to them in the villages. And that is what has to be done. This is just the language. So is in the culture. When we were same on the immunization campaign, we had created a film using Qawwali singer.
Mm-hmm.
And the Haryana reacted in a different way as opposed to Punjab on the Qawwali. So culture has a very important role to play. And therefore, we need to be very clear in our mind that the local language, local culture, local idioms, local way of thinking has to be important. Now you may say, but Mr. Bose, there is this village to village difference in the culture, in the language, in the way, this and that. I'm not talking about that kind of minutest detail. I'm saying, first understand, you remember you once told me that Maithili is the mother language of Bengali.
Yes, sir.
So therefore it is important to understand Maithili and use that language in Maithili in some parts of Bihar where, or even Bengal, some parts of Bengal or some parts of Bihar, where it is the language that the people understand, whatever that language is. So therefore what I am saying, you don't have to be local to the local village kind, but at least be, there are 56 socio-cultural regions in this country. Just work on those 56 local socio-cultural regions.
That's one good message. So listeners, what you are listening to is a conversation between me and DK Bose. If you have a question, you can drop into our Facebook page, Rural Campus, and we'll certainly take your question. Moving on to the next subject, DK, is that whenever we are planning, these days most of the briefs which come to us has an angle of sales built into it, which used to be sampling earlier. Now, there is always a choice whether you want to build a brand, create awareness about it, or you want to sell. Can both selling and communication go hand in hand?
Yes, it can. Once I was talking to about 30 sales executives of Hindustan Latex who manufacture and sell condoms, Nirod to other brands of condoms, and OCP, oral contraceptive pills. And the 30 sales executives' primary complaint was that the target that has been set by the company is very high. Nirod, 98% people know about Nirod. Only 4% use Nirod. So, obviously the question comes that sale will not happen because it has not been happening over the last so many years. So, I explained to them how sales happen. And I basically at that point of time told them, if you can spend your time not selling, but making behavior change happen in people in awakening a realization that they must use condoms for whatever purpose, sale will automatically happen. So it is not whether it is brand promotion or sales promotion or any other promotion. It is to do with people, deal with people, not the aspects such as branding, such as selling, or such as this and that. Deal with people's mind, deals with attitudinal issues, deal with behavioral issues.
But behavioral change will take a lot of time.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't take a lot of time.
It took us 10 years for polio.
I'll give you a small example. I'll give you a small example. Immunization program. Before that, I will give you something else. There was an island in Japan where the monkeys used to live, and one female monkey one day found a sweet apple on the beach. She took it and washed it in the water of the sea and had a bite, and she liked it, and she ate the sweet apple. She went and told her friends, female friends and mother, that I had this and I liked it. In no time, the messages on the sweet apple had spread not only within the island and all the monkeys started eating sweet apple, but across other islands where it became a eatable fruit. What I am saying is that behavioral change needs a tipping point. I'll give you a small example, another real life example. When we started immunization program in 1901 or 1900, the immunization status was 3% in Bihar, 3%, and we continued the program for 3 years in Bihar, and at the end of it, it was 20%. The increase was significant in terms of 3 years. Behavioral change doesn't take generation. It depends on the way we execute a behavioral change program.
So it's a benefit?
One second, I will just tell you how it is. You remember Hindustan Liver?
Yeah.
What did you do in terms of bringing behavior change on brand promotions? What we did was that we identified all the water points, and then we did two things. The strategy was to use the mainline media to create a universal understanding through television, but we importantly used 35 other local media to go along with that awareness that was being created by the mainstream media to convert a touch and feel with the brand at the focal point of water points, and behavioral change happened. So it doesn't take, and we covered that what? We did 65,000 villages in 9 months. So it is a myth that behavioral change happens over time. It can happen in no time. It can happen over time. I took 40 years to realize that smoking is bad for my health, and I gave up smoking. But it took me 40 years. Somebody else didn't smoke at all, behavioral change happened in no time. So what I'm trying to say, it is a myth. Challenge that myth and you will find a solution.
So challenging a myth towards a behavior will also need a lot of insight finding as to why do they do whatever they are doing and how do we counter that.
And the primary factor is, Raj, is benefit. What is the current benefit that they are getting by using or not using certain things? And what will be the benefit that you are going to be offering by using it? If that incremental benefit is meaningful to the people, they will be a damn fool if they don't change their behavior, because everybody is interested in getting greater benefit.
So, and the benefit could be either emotional or monetary, or
benefit could be economical, economy, benefit could be personal, benefit could be emotional, benefit could be rational, benefit could be any. Don't give any terms. Realize, and the question I always did is to ask myself, is that benefit a benefit to me in whatever way?
Yeah, but in a rural scenario where the person who is the provider and the person who's the end user, like even in terms of your immunization thing, if it is the first parent which we need to target, but there's an entire society also around it. So our communication gambit becomes bigger and bigger. Is there a method to solve that we only talk to people, or involving community will be very important?
I will tell you what I did. We had 6 immunization interventions that we had to talk about. And we had to, the strategy was a very simple strategy, that there is a river.
Yeah.
There is on one side of the river are the suppliers of the benefit, and the other side of the river are the receivers of the benefit. And we had to construct a bridge between the receiver and the supplier, because they were not otherwise crossing the river. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we did was very simple. We said, how do you create that bridge? So we took polio as a bridge on which we built a communication. Why polio? Because among all the other janlevar bimaris, polio was the only which was not a janlevar bimari. Number one. Number two, it was a burden. Any polio ridden person was actually a burden on the life of those people who are living. And then what happens is that we had to then give an economic benefit to the people, to say that if you don't take your child to the primary health center or to the community centers or to the outreach centers, then you are going to be affected by either a polio ridden burden, and the other is a death. Now, death is not a very major concern, or was not a very major concern in those days. So we choose polio as the window of opportunity to bring the affected people, the community members, to come to the health center. And when they came there, it was a person-to-person communication that made changes happen. How that person-to-person communication was created? If you remember, and you have worked in the social sector, we created a schedule chart which was perforated in 2 places. We designed that chart where people were interacting with the chart to bring their children to the health center for immunization, for vaccines. Right? So that created the bridge between the supplier of the provisions for immunization and the affected people who needed their children to be taken to the center.
Yeah.
So that way we brought person-to-person communication happen, and not just relied on mass media.
So nice talking to you, DK. Listeners, we'll continue this kind of series every week, and we want to spread as much of information we have. Me and DK, we strongly believe that every part of information must be imparted with, and we must be giving information out for others to benefit with our experience. So see you next week. Happy listening. And if you have a question, put it on to Rural Campus Facebook page. Thank you, DK.
Thank you, Raj, and nice talking to you.
Same here, sir.
Yeah, bye.